If you have ever looked at a standard pool slide and thought it looked a bit like a glorified piece of plastic, this spiral setup is going to change your perspective pretty quickly. It is not just about getting from the top to the water. It is about that 360-degree turn that actually makes the ride feel like something you would find at a water park. The sandstone finish is a smart choice too, because it avoids that harsh, bright white look that tends to stick out like a sore thumb in a landscaped backyard. It blends in surprisingly well with stone decking or natural pool surroundings. Now, the footprint is something to keep in mind. You are looking at needing about 9 by 5 feet of deck space, which is not exactly small, but for the amount of fun this thing packs into a 7-foot height, it is a fair trade-off. The flume is noticeably wide, which is great because it accommodates different sizes without feeling like you are getting squeezed in. One of the things that really stands out is the build quality. It uses this rotomolded construction that feels incredibly solid underfoot. You can tell it is meant to stay outside through the seasons without turning brittle or fading into a weird shade of yellow. The enclosed ladder is a massive win for anyone worried about safety, especially with younger kids running around. It keeps the steps tucked away, and the handrails are actually easy to grip, which sounds like a small detail until you are trying to climb up with wet hands. Connecting it to a garden hose is about as simple as it gets, and the water flow is consistent enough to keep the ride smooth. Honestly, the only real catch here is the installation process. While everything you need is in the box, it is definitely a two-person job, and you will want to make sure your deck is perfectly level before you start bolting things down. It is not a weekend project you want to rush through. Also, while the weight limit is a solid 250 pounds, which covers most adults, it is worth noting that the slide is definitely optimized for a specific flow. If you are on the taller side, you might find the spiral a bit tight, but for the vast majority of people, it is a total blast. It is saltwater friendly, which is a huge plus for those who have moved away from traditional chlorine systems. It is rare to find something that feels this heavy-duty, while still being accessible for a residential setup. If you have the deck space and you are looking to turn your pool into the neighborhood hangout spot, this is probably the most reliable way to do it without going overboard on a custom build. It is sturdy, it is fun, and it actually looks like it belongs in a backyard rather than a commercial park. Just make sure you have a friend to help with the heavy lifting during the setup, and you are pretty much set for the summer.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.